Hey guys, can you believe it's round 5 already? Well, neither can I, so it's just gone so quickly this season. I mean, it always does, and it just gets quicker and quicker each year, so I'll get straight into it. The traditional Anzac Day clash between Essendon and Collingwood is on tomorrow. Should be a great game. Essendon do have a few out though. They don't have Paddy Ryder or Dustin Fletcher or Michael Healy. And personally, I think Michael Healy's a big out because he provides a great presence on the ground, and yeah, he gives them so much energy and really helps out their structure. So he'll be a huge loss for them. Essendon haven't actually managed to beat Collingwood since the 2009 Anzac Day clash, where David Zaharakis kicked the winning goal. And the last time they played against each other, Collingwood won by 32 points. But with the Anzac Day game last year, Collingwood just won by a point with Blair kicking the winning goal, only just. So yeah, it will be a very interesting contest. I think Collingwood are probably in better shape this week, and they've shown they've been able to win without a few key players. So I think they'll be able to win this game by 10 points. Sydney and St Kilda go to New Zealand this week to play their match, and this is the first home and away game that's been played internationally, so there's one for the records. The last time these two sides played against each other, Sydney won by 29 points, even though the Saints kicked the first 5 goals of the match, but Sydney got them late in the game and really got the margin out. Sydney have won 3 of the last 4 games against St Kilda, which gives them a fair edge. Sydney will be very keen to make amends after their loss to Geelong last week, and they'll be able to bounce back, and I think they'll be able to win by 26 points. Richmond go to Patterson Stadium to play against Fremantle, who have lost their last 2 matches. However, in saying that, Fremantle have beaten the Tigers on the last 2 occasions, and that also included a win at the MCG, which was muchly unexpected. It's been interesting watching these two sides play against each other in recent times. There's no real clear favourite as to who will probably win, because Richmond have won 5 of the last 8 contests, but I mean that's still a few losses within that time. So, as I say, often home ground advantage can be quite beneficial if you can use it, and Fremantle definitely are one of those sides, even though they lost to the Bombers last week at their home turf. And I think Fremantle will be able to get the job done. Should be a terrific contest. I'm going to go with the Dockers by 17 points. GWS and Gold Coast head up to Manuka Oval on the Saturday. Both these sides have posted one win against each other from the 2 games they played against each other last year. I never really know who's going to win this game because, well, they obviously have only played twice and whoever's been the home side has won. But I think I just like Gold Coast better here because they've started the season off just a little bit better than GWS, and they've just been a lot more competitive, and I think they will go through to this week and possibly help them out to a victory. I think Gold Coast will be able to win this game by 40 points. Carlton host Adelaide at the MCG on the Saturday with what should be an enthralling contest. Although many might despise that, going by the 69-point defeat Adelaide handed the Blues at Etihad Stadium last year. But I get the feeling the Blues don't mind playing at the MCG. They have won 2 of the past 3 contests against Adelaide. I really like Carlton in this game, coming off some great form against West Coast last week, knocking them off at home, which is often a difficult task to do, but it doesn't seem to be this year. And they much prefer playing at the MCG than Etihad Stadium, that's for sure. And I think Adelaide have only won 1 of their last 8 games at the MCG, and that came up against Melbourne, so they don't seem to be real keen on the MCG. So with this game, I'm going to tip the Blues to win by 37 points. Geelong and the Western Bulldogs played Etihad Stadium on the Saturday night. This should be a relatively straightforward contest, as the Cats are heavily back to win this one. They beat them twice last year, relatively okay. It was a contest early on in the year when Geelong only won by 20 points. They won went down to the wire, sort of, but then the Cats got a few more and made the scoreboard look a bit more respectable for them. But they've won the last 5 against them, haven't lost since 2009, late in the season. But yeah, as I say, should be a relatively straightforward contest. I'm going with Geelong by 60 points. This game coming up could shape to be almost match of the round, you'd almost have to say. West Coast and Port Adelaide play at Amy Stadium on the Saturday night. West Coast have won the last 3 against Port Adelaide, but overall Port have won 9 of the last 12 contests, which have been at Amy Stadium, so that gives them a great advantage at home. And the last time these two sides played, West Coast defeated Port by 48 points, which was played in Adelaide. I'm convinced that even though Port have played some relatively mediocre sides, I think they'll be able to beat the out-of-form Eagles, and if they do, well, West Coast are in serious trouble. That's an understatement, but yeah, that would probably be the case. I'm going to go with Port to win this one by 5 points. Brisbane hosts Melbourne on the Sunday at the Gabba, and this is just a must-win game for both sides, and well, especially Brisbane because it's at home for them. And Brisbane have beaten Melbourne the last 2 occasions, and they belted Melbourne by 10 goals at the Gabba last year, so that will give them a little bit of confidence. As I said, just a must-win game for the Lions, and well, if the Demons can cause an upset here, I don't think Vossi's position as coach will not be looking too good if they cannot get the points against the Demons. But I think Brisbane should be comfortable enough to get a win here by 34 points. The last game of the round is Hawthorn up against North Melbourne at the MCG. Hawthorn have been in great touch recently, and North Melbourne also haven't been going too bad, notching up their first win of the season last week against the Lions. Last time it was Hawthorn absolutely killing North Melbourne by 115 points at Aurora Stadium, and Buddy Franklin had a night out. He kicked 13 goals, so that was his career high, and it was a great game from the Hawks' point of view anyway. Hawthorn have won 4 of the last 5 games against North Melbourne, so they certainly don't mind playing against the Kangas. And they're a top 4 side, we all know that, and they it's just a must-win for them too as well. I think they'll be able to get the win by 29 points. So those are my tips for round 5. I actually got 7 last week, so I was pretty happy with that. It was good to improve, and hopefully I can keep going this week. Feel free to put your tips in for this round, and like the video if you enjoyed it. Thanks heaps for watching, and I'll see you guys all soon.